wanted to offer you another guided meditation on death, on the mortality and impermanence, the impermanent nature of reality that is lived through this body. So sit in a comfortable position. Allowing the eyes to gently close. If you need to lean on something to support the back, you can do so, so long as you're not going to fall asleep, because it is important to stay awake, to remain mindful and fully aware of the images that we're going to see in the mind. Remember, at any point you can gently come out if it becomes too much for you to bear. If you notice the heart rate increasing, the mind becoming agitated to the point of increasing anxiety, restlessness, or the breath becoming fluctuated, then it's probably good to come out. Until you establish a baseline of restful state, and then slide back in if you choose to. So now, as you connect with the breath, staying with the breath, allowing ourselves groundedness, stability, and safety. Something that is required throughout this practice. Sense of safety. And being connected with the breath is crucial. Either feeling it touch the entrance of your nostrils, of the nose, as it goes in and as it comes out, just at that tip, that area of the nose. You don't need to follow it inside the body or outside the body. Just that point of touch, the breath to the body. In this guided meditation, the point is to allow you to feel comfortable and confident enough in time to practice this on your own. So we start with the body. The closest point of the body is the skin. Here we're going to be using the method of scanning the body. Looking at different areas of the body. Different areas of the skin. Our body. The one you are inhabiting right now. Perhaps you may notice the temperature, the tension in one area versus another. As you are scanning, you might notice one area more than another, one part of your body, the feet, the legs, the waist, the chest, the back, the head, the arms, whatever it may be. See if you can allow the mind to penetrate it and go a little bit inward. Feel the wetness, the stickiness of different tissues. Connective tissues. Different areas where you have fibrous, fleshy parts. Sometimes you will see bones near the joint area or cartilage. You're just there to observe. Observe closely. Establishing intimacy with the body to get to know the body inside out. Keep moving the mind around the body. Although you might find one or more areas that will ask for more attention from you, give it. It's okay. You might notice that the temperature is a little bit more warmer. Especially in some areas versus others. Now try to go deeper. Beyond the sinews, beyond the fatty tissues, the veins, the arteries, the capillaries. Now you are touching, scraping against the bones, closer to the joints, the cartilage, perhaps the spine. Curiously looking at the textures, how the bones aren't so smooth. They're still warm though. See if you can look for empty spaces within the bones, within the body. On this journey of exploration inside this jungle of yours called your body. See if you can enter the skull. You can miniaturize yourself, make yourself so small that you can even slide through different tissues unimpeded, unobstructed, with plenty of room for you to maneuver and move about, exploring, discovering the textures and the folds of the brain, how it's pulsating, how the blood is going in, how it's lit up in certain areas, darker in others, the grooves perhaps come around into the center of the brain. And then go forward towards the backs of the eyes, the eyeballs. From which you see the entire world, the screens of the mind, of the body. Now when it's a good time for you, you can exit the skin, and if you feel comfortable to go further with this guided meditation, then you may do so. Otherwise you can, if this is enough for you, you can stop. But to go deeper into this practice of death contemplation, practicing of bringing the attention of mindfulness back into the body, which is one of the important meditation practices in this tradition, taught by Lord Buddha. It's one of the fastest ways to overcome fear, fear of death, fear of the unknown, as well as attain freedom and release from being attached to our idea of the permanent, by looking at our very body and its impermanent nature. as well as it's not so attractive aspects which you just had a glimpse underneath the skin. Looking at the intestines isn't the most appealing thing. It might be appalling, but not appealing. So in this second stage of the contemplation of the body, we will take it apart. Check your anxiety at this point, if there is any. Check in with the breath. Take a deep breath. Relax it. Again, re-establish yourself in the sense of safety and security. At any point you can come out. But in order for us to go deeper, we can start from the skin again. One way to do this is by starting to peel off the skin in your mind, as if you're opening up a can of sardines. You're peeling, you're uncoiling the skin off the body. You can start from the left shoulder or the right thigh. At no point are you to feel any pain. Or struggle. There might be an element of repulsiveness or disgust. That is natural. It's just your sense of attraction that is falling away, fading away, because you're discovering the fact about the body, about reality. So imagine in front of you, on the ground, a silken white sheet that's laid out in front of you on the ground. And there is a container to the right side of you. You can give it any shape. Perhaps it's rectangular, or it's a circular, something like a bucket. A big one. And in it you peel off the skin and you gently, respectfully place it inside. This does not need to be a gruesome image, bloodied image, although we will see as the body is being disassembled. Another bucket, another container is being filled up with the contents of blood, your blood. And then look at the muscles. Gently peel them off. kindly put them away in a different receptacle, in front of you. They all must be displayed in front of you, easily observable. Now try to see the bucket. Look at the bucket that contains the skin. Do you see any features on the skin that identify the skin as your skin? Perhaps you see an area that has your nose, or some feature, a mole, or the hair. Or if you have any markings, like a tattoo or some features. Do you see those, but now separate from you? In the bucket, distant from you, the observer. What is occurring in you? How is the breath? How is the mind? If you're comfortable with this, then we go to the bones and see the skeletal system all throughout. And for this, we get a different bucket. And we gently disassemble the fingers, the forearms, the upper arms, shoulder blades, the scapula, clavicles, the collarbones, the rib cage, the pelvis, the femur, the long bones of the leg, the tibia, the other bones of the lower leg, the feet, the toes, putting them all in a different bucket in front of you in plain sight. Then you gently look at the spine, the vertebra. You take that carefully and you place it in front of you. Noticing the different sizes, the different features they have. And then the skull. You place the skull all on its own in front of you, on the floor. The eyes are already extracted, placed to the sides. Opening the skull itself, the skull cap, and you're looking at the brain. You remove the brain. Feel the texture of the brain. How is your attitude? If need be, it's a good thing to remind yourself that this is not an easy meditation for many people, including monks, bhikkhus, in this tradition. Lord Buddha would give this meditation to a select group of individuals who were able to penetrate, who wanted to understand and become free from the disillusion, from lying to oneself about reality. Now you look below you, around you, and the body with which you started is no more. It is in front of you, laid out on this wide, white, silky fabric. Now remove all the buckets, make them disappear, and all you have are the parts of the body, all in front of you. How is the breath? How is the heartbeat? Is there any tension in the mind? This is an important check-in before we proceed to the third stage. This helps to allow us the experience of relinquishment, the fear of getting sick, the fear of losing this body, losing health, becoming poisoned, or injuring ourselves, losing a body part. Most often it is the fear of such possibilities that incapacitates us. We normally live in fear, not in life, not in freedom. For this reason, this asubha, or the meditation on the repulsive, as it is known in this Dhamma and discipline, has often helped individuals to break into and out of ignorance and to attain nibbana, freedom, true awakening, because they see the three characteristics of existence displayed openly in front of them: anicca, impermanence; dukkha, suffering; and anatta, the non-substantiality of a self, which is right here in front of you, on the ground. You're looking at it. The intestine that seems to go on for miles in front of you, mixed up with brain matter, mixed up with your fingers over there, with your lungs over there, with the liver, the gallbladder, the bile, the heart over there. Check in. How's the heart? Now imagine you're sitting on an open field. And next to you there's a calendar of today's date. You look over at the calendar, you see today's date. You look over to the other side, you see your body parts, all of those, the bones, the color of the bones. They're still reddish because the blood. And then you look over back to the calendar and you see that it's been 4 days past. And you look back at your body parts, all displayed in front of you, and you're going to notice something. They're not looking so fresh. The blood has changed color. Flies and insects are crawling all over. And because we're out in the open, in a wilderness somewhere, animals come, scavengers come, some from the air, some from beneath the earth, some from the ground, jackals, wild dogs, animals. And they'll have their pick. Some will go after the eyes, some will go for the lungs, some will go for the brain, some will go and attack the femur, the leg bone, and chew on them. How is your attitude? Are you running after them, or are you sitting still, observing, observing, closely observing? Turn over and look at the calendar again. Now it's been 3 weeks. Turn back and look at the land in front of you. Suddenly you will notice that there's less. And the spine itself, the vertebra that was so beautifully arranged, it's taken apart. It's the hands, the feet. The bones are not together anymore. The jawbone is over there, far away from the rest of the skull. And some of these bones over here are crushed into bits by the canines of a wild animal. Then look over to the calendar again, and then it's been a year past. You turn over and you look at the bones. If they're still there, some of them, you see them white as snow, having been left under the sun. Far less visible. In fact, hardly noticeable. Then you look back at the calendar. It's been 3 years, and you turn around and you see there's nothing left. Nothing. Dissipated. Dissolved. How is the mind? How is the heart? This is a powerful meditation practice. Each individual practitioner will find their own versions of this. But essentially the structure is this disassembling, which is necessary. Not just to shock the mundane mind, but more so to allow you to establish yourself in the reality of things. That whether we like it or not, we have gone through this process countless and countless and countless times. Where is that fear of losing your life, of losing a body part, or having this severe headache, or this injury, or this disability? The fear of all these possibilities. Where are they? At that point, when you look around and the field is now swept clean of all the remnants of you that are no more. This is a powerful practice because it also can allow the practitioner if they do it correctly, based on the teachings of Lord Buddha, to understand on a visceral level the depth of experience of sunyata, emptiness or voidness. Where there's no more fear, because there are no more sannyas or perceptions. Fears are perceptions. Because you have gone straight at the fear itself. You've attacked fear itself. This meditation is not for everyone, but whoever is able, curious, and willing to practice this technique of Maranasati or Asubha, the practice of the repulsive, can really go deep, really go fast. Even attain liberation. So to come out of this practice, like any other meditation, guided meditation, I'd like to have you reconnect with the breath, just as we began. And slowly, slowly feel the body again, the texture, skin touching some surface. And when the time is right for you, go ahead and open up your eyes.